love watching VNews Bulletin. I'm Bangor from Hanoi, and now the headline as usual.
Party leader joins Great National Unity Festival in Ca Mau. Vietnam pledges to make more contributions to APEC cooperation. Vegetable, fruit exports likely to make record high of $7.5 billion US.
Let's begin our bulletin with the latest news. First, a report on recent activity by Party General Secretary To Lam.
Party General Secretary To Lam joined officials and residents in Mui Village, Dat Mui Commune, Nak Hien District, the southernmost province of Ca Mau, in the Great National Unity Festival on November 17th. The leader lauded achievements recorded by local authorities and people. He asked locals to promote the sense of responsibility for maintaining security and order and support each other in daily life and production, and officials and party members there to set examples. The party chief said more attention should be paid to vulnerable groups and residents in island and disadvantaged areas. On this occasion, the leader presented a gift and $787 US to the party cell and the front work board of Mui Village, along with 109 gifts in both cash and kind to policy beneficiary, poor and near-poor households in Dat Mui. Earlier the same day, Lam and his entourage paid tribute to Lak Long Kwan, the legendary father of the nation, at a temple in Dat Mui, and visited some sites in the locality.
State President Leung Keung wrapped up his official visit to Peru and participated in the 2024 APEC Economic Leaders Week from November 12 to 16. Earlier, the leader had a number of activities in the country.
Vietnam will continue actively contributing to and effectively implementing cooperation orientations and directions of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC, State President Luong Quang affirmed while addressing the 31st APEC Economic Leaders meeting in Lima, Peru, on November 16th, local time. To enhance APEC's role and amplify its contributions, the Vietnamese leader suggested continuing to advance trade and investment liberalization and strengthening the rules-based multilateral trading system. It is necessary to expedite cooperation programs and initiatives aimed at inclusive growth and technology, he continued. APEC should continually enhance global institutions and governance, the leader said. He said Vietnam is actively collaborating with APEC partners on the APEC Structural Reform Agenda for 2026 to 2030 to boost its operational effectiveness. In his meeting with Chinese Party General Secretary and President Xi Jinping, the state leader said Vietnam considers developing cooperation and friendship with China a strategic choice and a top priority in its foreign policy of independence, self-reliance, diversification, and multilateralization. The Chinese leader congratulated Quang on his election as the president of Vietnam and affirmed that China always considers relations with Vietnam a priority in its policy of neighborhood diplomacy. In his discussion with U.S. President Joe Biden, President Quang stated that Vietnam regards the U.S. as a strategically important partner. Biden congratulated Quang on his new position, reaffirming that the U.S. treasures its relationship with Vietnam, as well as supports a strong, independent, resilient, and prosperous Vietnam. Vietnam State President Luong Quang met his counterpart from the Republic of Korea Yoon Suk Yeol on November 16th, local time. Quang affirmed that Vietnam always attaches importance to its relationship with the Republic of Korea, saying the two countries have become reliable, effective, and pragmatic partners across a wide range of areas. Yoon congratulated Quang on his new role, stressing that Vietnam remains a key partner of the Republic of Korea in advancing the ASEAN Republic of Korea Solidarity Initiative and the Republic of Korea's Indo-Pacific Strategy. With regard to future cooperation, The two leaders pledged to continue fostering economic cooperation, aiming to achieve a bilateral trade volume of $100 billion in the near term and $150 billion by 2030 in a more balanced fashion. State President Luong Quang had a meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru on November 16th morning, local time. Prime Minister Ishiba said Vietnam is always a priority partner of Japan in the region. President Quang affirmed Vietnam considers Japan one of its reliable, important, and long-term partners, and supports Japan's active contributions to peace, stability, cooperation, and development in the region and the world. The two leaders expressed their delight at the effective implementation of the Vietnam-Japan Comprehensive Strategic Partnership for Peace and Prosperity in Asia and the world. In his meeting with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, Quang emphasized that Vietnam always seeks to further develop the friendship and strategic partnership with Malaysia. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim called for both countries to strengthen their ties and elevate bilateral relations by broadening and deepening cooperation across various sectors. Meeting Singaporean PM Lawrence Wong, Quang suggested further enhancing cooperation in politics, diplomacy, trade, defense, security, culture, education, science, and technology. Wong agreed with the Vietnamese state leader on the deepening of collaboration in strategically important areas for both nations. Meeting Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, both leaders agreed to strengthen political trust, maintain exchanges at high and all levels, and bolster cooperation in multilateral frameworks such as the UN, APEC, and ASEAN. At the meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, the two sides rejoiced at the robust development of Vietnam-Canada relations. Both leaders emphasized their commitment to enhancing bilateral ties based on mutual respect and shared benefits. Meanwhile, Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Overchuk reiterated the country's priority of fostering substantive and effective ties with Vietnam, reflecting their traditional friendship and potential. Quang reaffirmed that Vietnam attaches great importance to the comprehensive strategic partnership with Russia. Later the same day, the Vietnamese state president and his entourage left Lima, concluding their successful trip to attend the 2024 APEC Economic Leaders Week and pay official visits to Chile and Peru.
Coming up now, report on recent activity by Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, his spouse, and a high-ranking delegation of Vietnam arrived in Rio de Janeiro on November 16th afternoon, local time, beginning their three-day working visit to attend the G20 summit and have bilateral activities. The trip is made at the invitation of President of Brazil and Chair of the 2024 G20 summit Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and his spouse. This is the fifth time Vietnam has been invited to attend a G20 summit, and the first time Prime Minister Chinh has attended the summit. Focusing on the theme Building a Just World and a Sustainable Planet, the 19th G20 summit brings together leaders of official G20 members, heads of state and government of 19 guest countries, and leaders of 15 key international organizations. Prime Minister Chinh is scheduled to attend and deliver speeches at activities within the framework of the G20 summit, conveying the message of a dynamic, innovative Vietnam which stands ready to take on global responsibilities, makes proactive and responsible contributions to the world's key and urgent issues, commensurating Vietnam's position and strength as it enters a new era of national development. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and his spouse had a meeting with staff of the Vietnamese embassy and the Vietnamese community in Brazil on November 16th afternoon, right after arriving in Rio de Janeiro to attend the G20 summit and have bilateral activities. Chinh said he hopes that the Vietnamese community in Brazil will promote the spirit of solidarity, preserve national cultural identity, abide by the law, and integrate into local life, and while always looking towards the homeland. They are ambassadors that bridge and nurture the Vietnam-Brazil relationship, he added.
Vietnam can earn $7.5 billion from vegetable and fruit exports this year, the highest ever figure recorded, according to the Vietnam Fruit and Vegetable Association, VNEWS.
Statistics from the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development showed that the export revenue of these products hit over $6.3 billion in the first 10 months of this year, up 31.5% year-on-year and exceeding the $5.7 billion recorded for the entire 2023. Durian continues to be the largest contributor, bringing in over $3 billion in the reviewed period, accounting for nearly 50% of the total export turnover from vegetables and fruits. Other products such as banana, mango, dragon fruit, and processed products also play an important role. China remains the largest buyer of Vietnamese vegetables and fruits, with imports reaching $3.8 billion in the first 9 months of this year, up 38% year-on-year. Markets such as Thailand, the US, the Republic of Korea, and Japan have also seen strong growth, with double-digit increases.
Just 180 kilometers from Hanoi, the Mộc Châu National Tourism Area in the northern mountainous province of Sơn La is considered one of the most important national tourism sites along the northwest region travel route on National Route 6, one of the key highways connecting the region. Mộc Châu is the most visited spot for both domestic and international tourists.
Nestled in the heart of Mộc Châu Plateau, the Mộc Châu tourism area is truly a gem of nature, with a favorable climate, fertile soil, and stunning landscapes. Visitors can take in the breathtaking views of the vast plateau, with lush green meadows and mountainsides dotted with apricot, plum, and peach trees. But what really draws people in are the endless tea hills, which have become a favorite spot for tourists, both to explore and capture on camera. Visitors can also enjoy the fresh air and sip on a cup of delicious tea right amid the rolling hills.
It's great to be here, breathe in the fresh air, sip some coffee, and truly connect with nature.
Mộc Châu is also home to some spectacular waterfalls. One of the most famous is Dai Yem Waterfall, a magnificent cascade that flows day and night. The best time to see the waterfall is from April to September.
The scenery here is so fresh, with waterfalls, mountains, rivers. Everything blends together, making you feel relaxed.
It's a romantic spot, perfect for those who love peace and tranquility like me. I cannot get enough of this place.
Mộc Châu is packed with popular spots for visitors to check out. Highlights include the Bac Long Glass Bridge, which holds several Guinness World Records, and the Ban Ong Pine Forest. Mộc Châu is also a place to experience rich cultural traditions. Recently, the district revived the Pung Hing Festival, a year-end celebration of the Dao Tien ethnic group, which is traditionally held every 3 or 4 years. The festival will be held again during the upcoming Lunar New Year, giving visitors a chance to dive deeper into the local culture.
Mộc Châu, one of the national tourism areas of Vietnam, is home to 12 different ethnic groups, each with their own unique customs. It's vital we preserve and promote these traditions so that tourists can truly experience the diversity and richness.
Known as the Green Gem of the Northwest, Mộc Châu has been widely known as a stunning, vibrant destination. Mộc Châu has won the Top Nature Destination in the World award for 2 consecutive years in 2022 and 2023.
And that's a wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.